Hi, this is part 2 in a series of videos documenting the assembly of a Porsche 944 engine. In the previous video, I verified the main and rod bearing tolerances. In this video, I will be assembling the crankshaft and the girdle. Welcome to 944 Restore. Apply assembly lube to the bearings. Small reminder to apply assembly lube to the thrust surfaces as well on that middle bearing. Assembly lube is also applied to the main journals. I opted to install the first bearing on the crankshaft first, and then seat it on the pin in the block later. Crankshaft is in place, so now I'm going to work on the girdle. The first step is to apply lube to the bearings on the girdle side. The service manual requires Loctite 574 to be applied to areas of oil intake and near the flywheel. You can see those areas highlighted here. To apply the sealant, I used a foam roller and ended up wasting a lot of Loctite 574 to do this. I applied the sealant to the block as well. Install the girdle onto the block. I am reusing the washers and nuts. The washers are directional. There is a rounded edge that faces up with the flat side against the block. After the girdle is installed, but before the nuts are torqued down, verify that the mating surface for the oil pump is completely flush. I lucked out and mine was, but if it's not, an oil stone can be used to smooth it out. The girdle is torqued down in 2 stages. Stage 2 requires a 60-degree torque angle. The smaller M10s are torqued down to 37 foot-pounds. I marked the nuts in the washer after the final torque was applied. I also want to note that I'm going to install the oil pickup and return tubes in a separate video. And that wraps up the crankshaft install. It rotates freely and requires very little force. I'm able to turn it using just my hands. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. Next up in this series, I'm going to measure and file the piston rings as well as install the pistons.